Good afternoon, it's Lindsay. It is September 13th, 2024, and I'm doing a video because I feel pressured into doing something to document more of my blatant harassment and discrimination via smear campaign and flying monkeys that the fucking narcissist sends out to fuck with you and to do these kinds of things. And so I'm going to talk about this because this is all very coordinated, obviously. I've pissed off people by telling them no or by figuring things out and basically talking about it openly on my YouTube channel. And so, of course, these people are trying to retaliate by getting revenge, because that's what narcissistic people do. Is instead of confronting you and being honest, they have to lie and just fucking continue their little fucking lies and smear campaign and scripted shit that they do. These fucking government retard motherfuckers that they keep sending to harass me. Like, as I talked about for the last almost over a year, I was involved with that fucking jerk, shit fucking two-faced liar who was clearly working for some kind of police agency or government crap, just gathering information against me, or gathering information, acting like a friend to later use it against me, okay? And of course, since I was going through that whole probate legal thing, this person was a fucking imposter, a liar, a fraud, a scammer, and exploiting me sexually, completely exploiting me. And of course, I've been talking about that and told that person to fuck off, leave me alone, blocked him, don't want to have anything to do with him. And then it's like, I don't want to have anything to do with that person or any of his little flying monkey dumb fucks from the government or police that they send to harass me, because they're all involved with corrupt police and whatnot. And this is, I can assure you, because I know what's going on. I can figure it out. I can see that it's all part of a vindictive smear campaign to try to shame me and silence me. And as a matter of fact, I know all the names of the people involved. I could actually talk about starting when I got here in San Antonio, as far as all these men who are, I'll probably name their names in another video pretty soon, and name all their names of the ones who I suspect are directly involved with this ongoing harassment and smear campaign, that are all involved with either the government, who are prisoners, ex-prisoners, ex-cons, drug dealers, or the police. And I'm going to name their names soon enough and talk about what they've done to me or what they're trying to do to me to silence me or have me destroyed and killed, or to get out of the city. And unfortunately, when a person doesn't have much money, the financial resources to do that, I can't just up and move. It's not as easy as people think. If it were up to me, I would do that, but I don't have the money to do that. I'm in a trap where my narcissistic mother, control freak, the one who tried to put a guardianship on me in 2016, basically has me in a prison, even though it's my money that I inherited from my own father, Alan Baldwin. I suspect he's my father, most likely, who died. It's my money, and I have the right to do what I want with it. But she wants to keep me locked down in a fucking prison where I don't have anything in my name, and so it's like a trap. And that's what she does. She goes off and leaves the fucking country. You can't get a hold of her. She won't return my calls. And this is what she's doing to retaliate, because she's jealous and envious of me, her daughter. And this is Kenny Baldwin. Her name is Kenny Griffith Baldwin. Kenny Lynn. Her maiden name is Griffith, but she still uses Baldwin as her last name, which was my dead father's last name. My alleged father, Ben Baldwin, Ben Armistead Baldwin Jr., my supposed biological father who died in 2004. Well, no, I don't think he's my father. I think Alan, his brother, is my father. And I've talked about this so many times, how Kenny is when I look back at all my abuse and all my throughout my life and all the scapegoating and stuff, it's all, I can point it right to her. It all goes back to the mother, right? Anytime a person is suffering from severe anxiety, depression, the victim of scapegoating in a fucked up family like that, you can point the finger at your fucking mother. Okay, and for those of you who don't realize how this works, if you're the adult daughter of an abusive, narcissistic mother, controlling, envious, jealous, competitive mother, like I am, like my own mother treated me my entire life, then I can You can be assured that the source of your abuse, starting from your childhood, is your mother. It starts in the womb of the mother. So however I was conceived, for whatever reason, whether if it was from fucking being raped, adultery, whatever, she has been taking this shit out on me my entire life. And especially when there's money involved, when somebody dies and there's an inheritance or trust funds, this is what they do to try to, get revenge or try to make sure that you, the person who's being victimized by your own fucking family, is isolated without any resources, without anybody to understand and nowhere to turn, because they turn the whole fucking everybody against you. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. She's a fucking bitch. And I say that because she's a bitch. She's horrible to me. She tried to put a guardianship on me in 2016 for no fucking reason whatsoever. As soon as I got to San Antonio, as soon as I moved into that fucking house on Canton Street, that she tried to put a guardianship on me immediately and sent me to a mental hospital. She and her fucking asshole shit fucking son, another jerk, her little enabler. Both of them are the ones who are doing this to me. Kenny Baldwin and her son Carter Baldwin are the main perpetrators of all my shit. Getting all these other people involved to act as handlers, to act as, fucking informants. It's her, mostly, the one doing this to me, because she doesn't want to see me succeed. She doesn't want me to be financially independent, and she sure as a fuck doesn't want me to be happy in life. And that's how she's been my entire life. My own mother. My mother, who I don't have any relationship whatsoever. It's a very superficial relationship, and it's always been like that. And she still, to this day, even at age 40, I'm 49 years old, she's still trying to pull the same shit on me. Acting like I'm a 5-year-old who can't do anything with... She's fucking crazy. I fucking pay my bills. I know how to drive. I know how to cook. What the fuck is her problem? And why has she done this to me? Oh, because it's money. It's about the fucking will that I have, it proving that there is a trust in Lita Bess Griffith, my great-great-grandmother, our great-grandmother. There's that I have evidence of, that there's money involved that Kenny never told me about, as well as now that I inherited money from my from Alan Baldwin, my deceased father in Kerrville. And I say father because I'm pretty sure he was my father, okay? I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that Alan Baldwin was my father. And they are giving me absolute fucking hell about this. All the fucking little shit that I've had to go through just to get what I'm legally entitled to. Everybody's it's all fake. They're all fake. Basically, they don't really give a shit about me. They're not on my side. I see that clearly, but they have to do... It's like they're following a script, and it's all very coordinated with this Freemasonic shit, because they're all members of some kind of Freemasonic fraternal sorority stuff, and I'm not. And they scapegoated me back when I lived in Austin because I wasn't part of some fucking sorority. I'm sorry, but this is reality. Anytime you go into the court system and it's a probate issue and you're the scapegoated black sheep goat of the family like myself, this is the shit that they're going to make you do. Oh, you're mentally ill. You're delusional. You're crazy. You're schizophrenic. You're bipolar. You're anything. No, what I am is fucking angry, and I have severe fucking PTSD and trauma. Severe trauma as a result of all this that I've got. As a survivor of this fucking narcissistic abuse. I'm a survivor and fighter. So fuck you and your fucking labels, Kenny. And fuck you getting all these flying monkey people, sending these fucking people to fuck with me who are fake handlers in my life to fucking sexually exploit me and abuse me. Fuck you, Kenny. Because you're the fucking bitch. You and your fucking son are the ones doing this to me. That's for sure. And that fucking Bob Sussman cross-dressing fucking jackass that you were married to. They're all involved with this. Yeah, you were married to a cross-dresser, Kenny. Bob Sussman, your beloved Bob Sussman, was a fucking pervert cross-dresser. And I don't care how angry you want to get at me, but I'm saying it how it is. This is real. These are the facts, because I had to fucking live through this shit and watching all this. You treat me like a shit, and I don't want to have it. Thank God I don't ever have to see you again. I hope that last I knew you went to fucking Portugal, and I don't know if you're dead or alive. And quite frankly, I don't fucking care. I don't care because you're still from the grave. You're going to continue to try to fucking ruin my life and destroy everything I have going for me. That's how fucking mean you are. How evil you are. And I don't give a fuck if people think I'm mean for saying she's a fucking evil person towards me. Always has tried to drag me down, has never supported me, has never been on my side. And it's ever since she got involved with all these Jewish asshole men like David Berg, Bob Sussman, and all these men that she's been involved with who have exploited me sexually or tried to exploit me in one way or another, whether it be sexually or whatever. With the exception of David Berg. Didn't do anything like that to me. But my mother gets involved with these fucking narcissistic, sociopath perverts. And I had to go through that shit as a kid. All the fucking bullshit that she fucking put me through. And now I'm still fighting for what I'm legally entitled to get her fucking name off of everything. So I can live my life without that narcissist trying to control me. So let me talk about what happened the other day, though, with this shit, because if you people don't believe in sexual harassment and smear campaigns, here's a good example, okay? It just so happens that, I needed a new yard man, right? Obviously, I don't have a lawnmower. I'm not going to fucking cut my own grass. I get attacked by bugs out there. I'm not much of an outdoorsy fanatic like some people. I don't want to cut my own fucking yard because I don't have the equipment to do it. So I've been hiring people for years to cut my grass. For the longest time, I don't know, for the past, 7 years, 8 years I had been using the same person more or less to cut my grass until, with a few exceptions, whenever he wasn't available or I'd find someone, whatever, with a few exceptions, he was the same person. And this person, even though he didn't do the best job necessarily, he was still somebody who I basically didn't have to worry about being a pervert or doing anything bad because he was a married man with kids and he respected me. And he was a nice person I could trust. He was cutting my grass and he moved to Florida with his family. And so his name was Jay, and he moved, or Jaime, Jay. He goes by Jay, but he moved to Florida. And so, of course, I've been using someone else, and this person is a fucking little pervert, a little fucking Mexican pervert. All I wanted was to have my yard cut, right? The first time this man cut my yard, he starts, immediately after he leaves, he starts sending me these provocative text messages like he's infatuated with me. And I'm like, oh shit, not again. It's like I just wanted him to cut my yard, and I had paid him to do that the first time he did. And then I used him a second time to cut my yard, and even though he kept sending me these, asking me if he could send me videos of himself, I'm like, no, I just want you to cut my fucking yard. And of course he doesn't speak much English. And so then it makes me, okay, what they do, whenever you're a targeted individual, a female, they have to use pervert. They want to make me look like I'm some kind of a pervert, like I'm some kind of a whatever, provoking these men when it's completely opposite. They actually start sending me provocative photos or asking if they can send me provocative videos. I'm like, what are you, crazy? You're supposed to cut the yard. No, who the fuck, what's wrong with you? So, it's like, well, it's not easy to find a reliable yard person in this city because they're all, as far as I'm concerned, they're all fucking perverts, most of them, especially people you find on Craigslist. They don't have a business card. So I thought this person was legit, right? This person named Caesar, until I realized that he's just another fucking pervert trying to get in my pants. And of course, I didn't do anything with this person, but that's all he was trying to, like, get with me intimately. It's what he wanted. And I'm like, oh my God. And it just so happens that he has the same name of the ex-husband from Panama, right? Caesar. I should have known better. I should have known not to hire a yard man with the name Caesar. Just because it's like, oh, I feel like this is all part of this shit to try to trigger me or get me mad because of that evil ex-husband, Caesar, who I was married to, who was a fucking abusive person towards me when I divorced him. It was violent with me and abusive. Yes, he was. And so it's like it's all done, but you see, this is all done intentionally to punish me to make me, it's all done. It's all coordinated. And then, of course, I was involved with another narcissist for the past year who is trying to sexually exploit me and just uses me to have his fucking dick sucked or blowjobs. And I'm being very blunt because these people are very, very sexually perverted. And they seem to think that I have a contract with them, like I'm some kind of an object that they can sexually exploit. And I guess they've told everybody that I'm a prostitute or whatever. And so people just treat me like I'm a fucking whore here in San Antonio, which is not. I've never once been paid to have sex. I'm not a prostitute. I'm an educated female who's been put on some fucking fucked up list by a bunch of fucking perverts who I've rejected, who are angry now because this is what's happening to me. I am not a prostitute. I've never been a sex worker in my life. Worked in some men's clubs, which is different, as a dancer and a cocktail waitress, but that's not a prostitute. That you know what I mean? So they have this idea, and that was years ago anyway, that I danced in a men's club and did cocktail waitressing a long time ago when I was in Austin, Texas, years ago when I was in college, and when I was in Houston. That was years ago. Okay, so they're still using that shit against me to fucking fuck with me and punish me and shame me. It's called reintegrative shaming. They're using like shame-based fucking programming crap when I am so not any of these things that they fucking say I am, and it's fucking humiliating to have to go through this. I don't have to prove myself to these people. I don't have to be treated like that. It's completely unfair and illegal. And it's called harassment. It's called discrimination. It's called bully. I get bullied. I get smear campaign, mobbing. If I have a job, they mob me out of the fucking job. This is horrible kind of stuff that these people do whenever they don't like you or whenever they have found out something about your past or whatever. And it's not fair for people who are just trying to even if I were somebody who at one point in my life actually worked in the adult industry, such as in the porno industry or whatever, had one of these Instagram shits pages where they're doing all that shit. I've never done that. But even if I did, they don't have the right to be doing that to anybody. To anybody who's done that kind of work, you still have the right to live your life without being fucking harassed in public, but at a gym or any place. You have the right to live your life. I don't, I might not approve of those kinds of things. I don't approve of being but if you have to make money to do that, then you have to do what you have to do. That's just the bottom line in today's society, how fucked up it is. And when people get fucked out of their own inheritance by their own family, damn it, you have to do what you have to do to survive, okay? And I stand against that. I stand for that because you never know what can happen. You might have to do things that you don't want to do just to fucking survive. And so whatever. But there's so many stupid fucking people out there who use this religious-based shit fucking programming crap to fuck with people who are just trying to fucking survive and make ends meet. People are fucking mean out there. There's a lot of ignorant, stupid, fucking hypocrite people out there. And I should know because people treat me like a fucking doormat a lot of the times and make fun of me all the time just because of my past, which is not even all that whatever, but they find out little things to embarrass you or humiliate you or smear your name and traumatize you based on something you did 20 years ago. Big deal, I was filmed with some, 20 years ago when I lived in Austin at UT by some fucking pervert filmed me, and God knows what he did with that. But you know what? That's the fucking past, man. Get the fuck over it. They have to bring all this shit up people are so stupid. Seriously, get the fuck over it and leave me alone. Because I swear to God, I still get taunted with that shit here in San Antonio. It's horrible. Horrible. And I know that there's money made off of me. I know that they exploited me years ago for God knows how much money they made off of that shit back in the day. I don't know. But I know the people behind, I know that they're still trying to punish me to this day about that shit or mock me and insult me. And fuck you. Fuck you for doing that. You see, fuck you. So the fucking yard man, what happened the other day, let me finish my story about get back to the fucking yard situation. So it's like, yeah, he's supposed to come here and cut my fucking yard. Of course, he shows up really late. And he wants to... I try to be nice to people, even if they don't speak English, if they're immigrants or whatever. I try to treat people equal with respect, okay? Because you never know what they're going through or what they've been through. And I try to be, like, treat them well, okay? And this person, this yard man, he shows up a couple days ago, and I'm sitting out there waiting, reading my books. It's a nice day. I'm trying to get a little bit of sun, sitting outside, reading my book, ready to pay him so he can get my fucking yard cut. And then he talks to me. He gets over here and he's starts asking me, ¿podemos ir a tomar algo? ¿Quieres tomar algo? ¿Quieres un cerveza? And I'm like, no, I don't drink beer. I don't drink fucking beer, okay? I said I drink other things, but not beer. And he's like, okay. So he insisted on getting me a drink. I'm like, and so to be nice, thinking that, okay, this is a good way to get to know him a little bit better because he's doing a service, he's cutting my yard, I'm paying him to do something, I should be nice and say, okay, I was just trying to be nice. And so we drove down. He drives this big fucking huge truck. He's a little short guy, not even shorter than I am, and I'm only 5'2". He's probably about my height. They're a little taller. A really short little Mexican guy, right? Like a Mayan Mexican. Looks like a Mayan Indian guy. Indian Mexican guy, indigenous. And he so we go to that corner store, right? This one down the street. And I said, just anything, but no beer. And he comes out with a big 6-pack of this Smirnoff shit. Like some kind of pink grapefruit Smirnoff. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I don't need all that. I don't even want one. I can have one of them, but I don't want all of those. I'm not going to drink that. And then he's like, no, take it. So it's like, okay. So then what they do, that's to make you feel obligated, right? Him doing that, it's like, well, he's doing that. He expects me. It's like, oh, well, I'm giving you these drinks, so I expect something in return. That's how they see it. That's how these people see things, I think. And so, we sit out there on the porch for a while he's drinking beers, I don't know what the fuck, some canned beer that he's drinking, and I'm like, okay, and I'm drinking, he starts asking me all kinds of questions, like, how do I pay for the house I live in? What do I do for a living? It's like he's interrogating me in Spanish, like speaking Spanish, and I'm like, why are you asking, and why do I live alone, and what am I doing, and I'm a pretty girl, and this, that, and the other, and it's like, it was really weird, because he was basically interrogating me in Spanish, and I'm thinking, he wants to get me drunk, so that I keep talking, I'm thinking. And I didn't tell him a bunch of information at all. I didn't tell him how I have money or what I do. I was like, no, there's something weird about this guy. He's an informant. He's clearly an informant. Somebody is paying him to get information, or they're trying to set this up. I could see that there's just red flags waving right in front of my face. And I'm like, I better be really careful. Because then he kept trying to get me to drink more, and he told me I shouldn't be sitting out in the sun because I need to stay light-skinned because he doesn't like dark-skinned girls. He's like, you better not get in the sun because you need to stay white. Like, güera, muy güera, no me gusta lo negros, he said. He doesn't like dark skin. I'm like, well, I'm thinking, what the fuck? You're a fucking dark-skinned Mexican, So it's like very ironic how these people, it's like, right, that right there is showing me that he probably hates himself. If you don't like your own skin color, or you don't like darker skinned people, yet you're a fucking dark skinned Mexican, what does that tell you right there? That tells me that he has a lot of self-loathing and insecurities, and he's projecting. Because what they do, and I've noticed this with other immigrants, and I'm not anti-immigrant. Do not get the wrong idea. These are just, I'm talking about experiences I've had. This is not the first one with people like this at all. But they have this, I've noticed it, and he's been here for 11 years. That's a long time. And apparently he doesn't have a work permit. apparently he just rents a house in Seguin with other Mexicans. Seguin, Texas. So he doesn't have a work permit, supposedly. He mows yards to make money. He doesn't have any kind of sign on his vehicle that says, his company. He doesn't have a company name. He mows yards to make a living. Supposedly. That's all he does. Okay? God only knows what else he does. I don't know. But supposedly he's been doing that for 11 years, cutting grass. Well, then if you cut yards for 11 years, don't you think you'd put some kind of a company name on your vehicle or have a business card? I said, do you have a business card? He said, no. I said, well, maybe you should advertise. You want more business. Why don't you put something on your truck or your trailer so that people know that you can, what your services you're providing. You have an ad on Craigslist. That's how I found you. Maybe you need to promote, get some, it's just kind of weird, isn't it? Because I know that if I were an immigrant who didn't fucking speak much English and I'm trying to make money cutting grass, he's got a lot of clients, obviously, but it's I guess they don't want to advertise. But I can understand that. Maybe he's afraid of the police. He's got his reasons, I'm sure. But I would think that, these people, they're so eager to come over here and they work their asses off doing shit like these jobs. I know they work hard. But it's what the fuck? Why do they want to come over here so bad? Just to do shit like that, slave labor, where they have to spend all their money on rent, and then they send all their money back to Mexico because he says he has a wife and kids in Mexico, or he's divorced, and he's got two small kids in Mexico. I'm like, well, why don't you bring her here? ¿Por qué no está aquí ella? He's like, porque estamos divorciados. I'm like, okay, well, you still send her money because you've got kids, so she's still your financial obligation. So all his money goes towards his kids in Mexico, his wife, supposed ex-wife, in rent, and probably paying for the gas of that huge truck that he drives. Huge truck, I'm thinking, right? I don't know, it's not my business. But then he's telling me some ideas about, the guy's not stupid. He was smart. He's not dumb. But, because I was telling him how I would like to go to Mexico. I was like, well, I would like to move to Mexico, and get out of here. Because I'm sick of living here. I'd like to go fucking live in Mexico, get somewhere by the beach. And he's like, well, go. He said, you should do it. He's like, go buy a house there. And I'm like, I wish I would like to do that, but I'm kind of trapped here. But I didn't go into all the details. But, he got an idea that what I'm talking about, I think. So I'm not saying the guy was all bad, because he just was disrespectful and he was a drunk. And he tried to and I was like, you have to start cutting the grass now. I have to go inside. I have things to do. And so I said, start cutting the grass. So I came inside, locked the door, and a few minutes later, he's knocking on my door. He's like, I have to, puedo ir al baño. And I'm like, okay. So I watched him, and he's walking all over, looking at things, asking questions, like, the bathroom's over here, let me show you. And then he starts walking in my room. I'm like, don't go in there. And he starts walking in the kitchen. I'm like, no, the bathroom is over here. I didn't invite you into my house. So stop doing that. He invited himself into my house. So he goes in the bathroom, and I don't even think he used the bathroom because I didn't hear a toilet flush or anything. But it's like he's snooping around my house, snooping around, basically. And then he sits down on the chair, and he starts talking. I'm like, look, Caesar, I have things I need to do. Could you please cut? It's already 5, 6 o'clock by this time, and he still hasn't started cutting the yard. I'm like, I really, would you start fucking cut? I didn't get mad, but I'm like, start cutting the fucking yard. I already paid him. Gave him the $40 to cut the fucking yard, right? I'm like, I need to be left alone. I have things to do. Start cutting the fucking yard, okay? I didn't get mad, but I'm thinking to myself, this dude is fucking driving me insane, So he's sitting there in this chair, and I'm listening to him talk, and he's got this fucking black fucking aura over his head. I'm looking at him I see this big black cloud over his head. A big black fucking aura. that I could visibly see. And then I'm watching him and I'm talking to him, having a conversation, and I'm sitting here in my chair and he's over there across from me in this chair. And I'm like, shit, dude. Then I watched his eyes fucking turn into demon black. I saw he shape-shifted right in front of me. His eyes, pupils went completely black. I swear to God, this dude, he had 3 beers, or he was drunk, maybe, a little bit, tipsy. His fucking eyes turned black. He started to turn into a demon. I saw the fucking eyes turn black. His pupils. And I'm like, oh, get this guy out of my fucking house. Get out of here. And I think he could tell that I was nervous, that I was uncomfortable. Because I was like, oh, fuck, I just was trying to be nice, okay? And then I offered him I gave him some pumpkin seeds. He ate those and he started asking him more questions. I'm like, just get the fuck out of my fucking house, I'm thinking. So he gets out of here. He runs out the door. And clearly he saw that I was uncomfortable. Because I guess he was upset because he couldn't hit on me or didn't get what he wanted. He kept making all these references to like perverted stuff about how he wanted to, get intimate. And I'm like, fuck no, I was thinking, no way. Now just get the fuck out of my house. He runs out of the house. He runs out and drives away, right? And doesn't even cut the yard. Just runs out of here. I'm like, fuck. I paid him money. He didn't cut my yard. And then all of a sudden, I texted him. I said, thanks a lot. You didn't cut my grass. You took my money. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll come back tomorrow. I'm like thinking, no, I don't want you to come back. But so the other day, I guess it was, yesterday, I had to make sure that I was here. But he comes back and cuts the fucking yard, and I'm in the house the whole fucking time, and I did not dare go outside. I just he insisted on coming back to cut the yard because I already paid him. I was like, fuck this, I am not going to even go out there after that uncomfortable experience with him. And now I realize, he's never going to be hired to cut my yard again, ever. Not after that. No. After taking off with the money, getting drunk like that, and then interrogating me, no. That's very ill-mannered. That's not well-mannered. He does not have very good manners. And You see, that was a weird experience. And I'm just saying, you have to be really careful about who you let in your house. Talking to myself. I have to be really careful about who I allow into my home. Because this kind of shit, it's like, then they know where you live. Then they can, you never know who they really are, what they do. Or, you never know. I don't know the guy's last name. I've never done some kind of a background check on him or anything. Who fucking knows? Because he seemed like he was really pissed off about something. That he was taking it out on me. In a way. Like his sexual frustration. That I became his target of sexual frustration. This has happened to me other times with these Mexicans or Latino men that feel rejected by a woman or something. It's like they have all this fucking anger, sexual frustration, and they like to try to take it out on me. I guess I'm their therapist, right? Yeah, maybe I am. I'd be good at being a therapist, but, it's like I don't need to be treated like that. I'm not going to be bullied around or taken advantage of by anybody. Because it gets really fucking uncomfortable, these kinds of scenarios. And unless you're in my situation, you don't understand what I'm talking about. That on top of the fact that I'm going through this probate shit still. There's still money that I'm entitled to. And then, I get a call from somebody the other day from Mariana Law Firm. Oh, no. Anastasia Campos Law Firm. And this was a message they left me the other day, and I'm thinking, I don't remember contacting Anastasia Campos Law Firm, but apparently I must have a ways back when I was trying to get help still with this probate thing, but I don't think I did. I would have remembered. And
Saved message.
Hey, let's see. Just
a minute. I'm gonna play
Message saved.
Hold on.
Saved message.
Hey, Lindsay, this is Andrew from
With the-
Advantage.
Message saved. Saved message.
Hello, this is Mariana with the law office of Atenasio Campos. You had made an appointment with us last week for a probate consultation.
I did.
Call us back at 830-620-1515 if you'd like to reschedule. Thank you.
To replay this message, press 1. To delete, press.
Hello, this is Mariana with the law office of Atenasio Campos. You had made an appointment with us last week for a probate consultation. Please call us back at 830-620-1515 if you'd like to reschedule. Thank you.
Okay, look, I'm playing that as proof that they called me. This was a couple days ago that I got that message, and I'm thinking, okay, I don't recall calling Anastasia Campos law firm in New Braunfels, because I did call them back, and I said, because I didn't schedule an appointment with anybody. A ways back, I had been contacting a lot of different probate attorneys to try to get help with this ongoing thing in Kerrville, this probate matter that I'm still going on, and I may have contacted them, but I don't know, because I didn't schedule a consultation with them, because I called back today and talked to somebody, or yesterday, and she said they're in New Braunfels, and I'm like, okay, and then I called again today, and she said that, I said, do you serve the Kerrville area, because the probate case is in Kerrville. And she said, no, we don't. And I'm like, well, okay, that's weird, because I honestly don't ever remember scheduling a consultation with this firm. So I'm wondering, is that some kind of a weird, what's that about? And knowing that I'm a targeted individual who's going through all this weird stuff, I can't help but wonder if that's another setup. Everything's like a setup in my life. So many things happen to me that are just clearly staged or setups. Ongoing. Like, here's another example. I go to the doctor. Okay, I talked about I had a doctor's appointment a few days ago that's part of this fucking... Anyway, I go to a doctor's appointment, and she refers on the thing that I need to go see a social worker about the fact that my insurance is expired, my health insurance, that I don't have health insurance. And at one point I did, and I don't know if it's still active. They had first given me something called United Healthcare, and then that went inactive. And then I got something in the mail for Blue Cross Blue Shield. And when I went to the appointment to check in, she's like, do you have insurance? I said yes, and I gave her the wrong card. I gave her the United Healthcare card, insurance card, and she said, no, it's not active anymore. I'm like, oh, crap. I didn't think, because I had forgotten that I had Blue Cross Blue Shield. And I don't know if that's still active, but I forgot. It's like they fuck with me all the time. And that was another fucking setup. When I got that, it's like I don't even have any insurance right now. I sure as a fuck don't have United Healthcare, and I don't think I have Blue Cross Blue Shield. But anyway, I get a call the other day. I just so happens I answer the phone from somebody who said he's a social worker calling to get some information. And I'm like, he said his name was Ray Lopez, and he was a social worker. And he was wondering about my insurance. I said, well, he said, this is a follow-up about your appointment that you had, and my name is Ray Lopez. I'm a social worker. And I said, do you have insurance? I said, well, no, because they denied it. And I said, but I think I have Blue Cross Blue Shield, but I gave him the wrong card. And it's like, okay, so he was calling me Ray Lopez, and then so the name Ray Lopez, and then there's another Ray the other day, another Lopez, and it's like this name Lopez all the time, Lopez or Rodriguez or Lopez or this or Ray. The name, you'll notice, is a targeted individual patterns with names. There's always patterns with numbers and names and places. It's always synchronized, connecting the dots and patterns, and they want to see if you can connect the dots or not. about the patterns and shit, which I can, usually.